Welcome to another phase of our teaching. Your mind believes this. The title of our teaching today is Why Your Brain Reacts to Imagined Events Like Reality. Why your brain reacts to imagined events like reality. There is something happening inside your mind every day that most people never notice. Your brain is constantly responding to experiences, not only real experiences, even the imagined ones. Most people assume imagination is just fantasy, something entertaining but ultimately powerless. But the mind does not treat imagination as meaningless. It treats vivid mental experience as instruction. I repeat again. Our mind treats vivid mental experience as instruction. When you imagine something clearly, your nervous system begins responding as if it is happening. Your body can react, your emotion can shift, your focus can change, all without anything occurring externally. This reveals something important. Your internal world is not separate from your physical response. It influences them continuously. Consider how your body reacts when you vividly remember an embarrassment. Your muscle tightens, your expression changes, your mood shifts. Nothing is happening now. Yet your system reacts as if it is. Or imagine thinking about a future situation you fear. Your breath alters, your posture shifts, your energy drops. Again, nothing has happened. But your system responds anyway. This happened because the mind does not primarily respond to reality. It responds to interpretation. Interpretation is shaped by mental imagery, and mental imagery is shaped by focus. Where attention goes, internal experience follows. I repeat again. Where intention goes, internal experience follows. So mind how you think. This is why two people can imagine the same future event and feel completely different emotions. One imagines success and feel anticipation. Another imagines failure and feel anxiety. The event hasn't occurred for either of them, but their internal reactions are already different, which means their behavior will be different too. Because behavior follows internal state. This is the hidden mechanism most people overlook. They try to control actions without realizing actions are influenced by mental rehearsal happening beneath awareness. Every time you mentally replay a scenario, you are training your system. Not metaphorically, but literally. The brain straightens pathways based on repeated internal experience. Whether that experience is real or imagined matters less than you think. What matters is intensity and repetition. The more vivid something is imagined, the more strongly the system records it. The more often it is repeated, the more familiar it becomes. And familiarity has power. Because what feels familiar feels believable. What feels believable feels possible. And what feels possible changes how you act. This is why people sometimes perform poorly even when they are capable. Not because they lack ability, but because they have rehearsed failure internally so many times that it feels expected. Expectation influences performance. Not consciously but automatically. The system tries to match outer results to inner predictions. If your internal imagery predicts difficulty, hesitation appears. If your internal imagery predicts success, confidence appears. Not false confidence, but natural confidence, because your system believes it has already experienced the situation. From its perspective, it has. That is why imagination is not just creativity, it is conditioning. Every mental image is a rehearsal. Every rehearsal strengthens a pathway. Even strengthening pathways increase probability. This means something profound. You are already programming your response daily, whether you intend it or not. Most people do it accidentally. They rehearse worry, they rehearse doubt, they rehearse worst case scenario, and then they wonder why emotional state appears automatically in a real situation. Their system is not betraying them, it's repeating what it practiced. Sometimes practice does not require physical action. Mental repetition alone can create familiarity, and familiarity reduces resistance. That principle works both ways. It can reinforce limitation or it can reinforce capability. The difference lies in what you repeatedly picture, not occasionally, repeatedly, because repetition is what signals importance to the mind. What you repeat, the system assumes is necessary. What is necessary, it strengthens. What it strengthens becomes easier. And what becomes easier becomes natural. This is why some people appear naturally confident, naturally calm, naturally focused. Often, they have unknowingly trained those responses internally long before they even need them externally. They rehearse them quietly, consistently, until the response felt normal. And once something feels normal, the mind stops resisting it. This is where internal change begins. Not when you try harder, but when you train your internal experience deliberately, because the mind is always practicing something. The only question is, are you choosing what it practices, or is it choosing for you? In other words, is your mind controlling you, or are you in control of your mind? If this made you see imagination differently, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, and follow us on TikTok. The next video reviews how emotion is the force that locks this mental pattern into place. Christ is the King. This is a wake-up call. Peace.